Hello and welcome back to Resurrection Retro. On the bench today is one of the filthiest video recorders I've had in my workshop for some time. This is a JVC HR3330 video recorder, VHS video recorder from about 1977, 78, something like that. It's the first model VHS machine that was ever produced. There was an American one with rotary dials on here, which was the 3300, but that was never issued in Europe. The very first European and worldwide one was, which is the 3330. So it's an incredibly old video recorder. It is absolutely beaten to hell. It was a garage find, and it was listed on eBay as a garage find. Yeah, it's just an absolute dirtball. I've not had one like this in a very long time. So okay, it's a piano key style mechanism on this. It is literally falling apart. There's bits of it just literally falling apart. As you can see, it's the glue on the back of the aluminium panels is gone, and it's very common on these. These were known in the UK actually as the Ferguson video style, and it was very popular in the UK. The 3V00, the 3V16 and the 3V22 were all pretty much based on this, the original JVC. I've had a number of those. My last one I sold to my friend Will, who's got it, and it's still working perfectly. Yeah, I have a lot of love for these models. There's no ICs in them whatsoever. It's all discrete analog circuitry. It's entirely analog. Even the digital clock here, or the actual clock itself, is not driven by a chip. It's this one is just such a mess. Okay, it's got a crack out of the plastic on this, which I can repair. That's not a problem. It's just absolutely filthy. It's got a bit of wood grain going on there, which is really quite nice. Let's move this around. It's missed its label, but I know that it's a 3330 model, because I've actually had the top off and just double check. I haven't powered it up. It's covered in paint. It's just a proper little dirt ball, and it does eject. The first eject seems to be fine, and then subsequent ones get faster and faster. So there's something going on there. The fact that this actually allows me to select modes means that there's some sort of problem with the actual selection mechanism inside here. The mechanicals need working. It's very, very mechanical, this machine. I'm just itching to clean this. It's been in my lab now for about 8 hours. It was delivered today, and I just really want to clean it, but I need to document it with this video, this initial look and initial cleanup video. I think this video recorder I'm going to do over a period of a number of months, and it's going to be multi-part videos on this. What I want to do with it is absolutely clean it up as much as I can. I'm going to completely dismantle it. Everything's going to be washed and cleaned. The mechanisms are all going to be cleaned. I've got the belts coming. I've got a video head coming for this as well. But the video head seems to be in reasonably good condition. But it's getting harder to find the parts for this. So yeah, even the buttons here are just jammed up, and yeah, it's just completely jammed up. So I've got to dismantle the entire tuner section. We have here the basically standby, operate and timer button. Then we have also here a record select, whether it's either record from the TV tuner or record from the auxiliary. On the front here we've got timer record mode. So you've got select, repeat on there. We've got tracking. So, and one of these actually is for the still freeze frame. So this was actually had a still frame, and you could actually push the move the picture on. So this is the 3300, the original one, the Ferguson model 3V00, and the 3V22, and the very first one, the JVC 3300, all had still frame, which was just a blank screen. This is the 3300. Yeah, 33. This is the 3330, which actually had a still frame. So yeah, these are getting rather rare to get hold of. They're normally quite expensive. I'm seeing good ones going for £300 to £400. I paid, I think it was £40 or £50 for this one. Even if I use it for spares for another one, that's fine. I would love to get this up and running because the JVCs were far more expensive to buy than the Fergusons. Again, the Ferguson was just a badge engineered version of this. So these are actually relatively rare to get hold of. So when I saw it, I just had to have it. On top here is where you can actually get into the tuner. So all the tuner controls are in here. If we go around to the back, we have video out, video in, aerial sockets, RF out and RF in, a big fuse, power in, remote and audio. And these are F-style connectors, not the BNC or RCA connectors. This was quite common back in the mid to late 70s. We've got a switch here for normal, colour, black and white and setup. So that you can choose what type of, whether you want colour or black and white, just in case you're using it on a black and white TV. And also the setup does colour, test bars and stuff like that to allow you to tune it in. And there's also a big clunking on off switch at the top here. So let's get this powered up and see what happens. I will use a dim bulb on this one because I don't know whether it works or not. And we'll see what happens. So I have my power, and I'm gonna, it's in on the dim bulb and also in the RCD. I'm just going to check the power. Yeah, the power's off. I'm going to plug the power in, and let's see whether this even remotely works. Yep, that's all good. Let's turn it on. The dim bulb is not a light. We do have the clock here. Can we set the clock? I think some of the actual segments are out, so we've got one there, and we've probably got a few others. So what's the day yet? So we can select what day. Okay. Yeah, there's a few segments out. Things are going on. Nothing's going on there. Let's turn it to operate on the operate button. Okay, so we have a tuner which seems to be stuck. There's some lovely smells coming from this. The smell-o-vision, if YouTube had smell-o-vision, this smells of mouldy garage stroke mouldy potatoes. Yeah, that's about right. Let's put a tape in and see what happens. So let's try fast forward. Nope. There's lots of clicking, but nothing. Play. Nope. We're getting absolutely nothing out of this. Yep. So my suspicions are that the selector mechanism, which is all mechanical, it's like sliding little arms, all just here, is gummed up, and it's been sitting around. As I said, this was a genuine barn find from the eBay seller. So yeah, at least the eject works. The plan is to give this a quick clean up. I didn't want to clean it up until I've got this video done of the initial assessment. I just want to clean it because it stinks. So yeah, looks like we've got a lot of fun with this one. I am going to take the top off as well, and we can have a quick look inside, which I might actually do now. I think so. If we turn that off, let's so there we go. These machines were really designed for serviceability. They were such a lovely, reliable machine in the day. These were very much favoured by a lot of the rental companies in the UK because they were pretty reliable. So as I said, all the boards are discrete circuitry. There is literally not a single IC inside this machine. There's some pretty complex discrete circuitry, but no ICs. So it's either electronics, simple electronics, passive components usually, or it's mechanical. So let's take this off, and there is the video drum. That's spinning freely, so the bearings seem good. The faces of the actual video drum look pretty clean, though there's some dirt around the video heads. I need to check the protrusion of the heads. The easiest way to do that is to get a square of blank A4 paper and take a chunk out of it about 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, and then just gently put the paper there and then spin the video head, and if you can feel the head protruding through the paper and into your thumb, then you've generally got good heads. So yes, the video heads are fine. They look okay. Often these drums tend to corrode. Let's just keep the focus wants to go back to there. There we go. It's trying to focus back onto that little thing there. So let's see whether we can. So yeah, the drum tends to corrode. You get sort of corrosion on aluminium parts when it's been in a damp environment. This doesn't seem to have any major corrosion. So yeah. The pinch roller is absolutely cremated. It's absolutely terrible. On the other surfaces seem okay. Let's turn it all the way around. So the drive rubbers sort of seem okay. Can I get to them? Yeah. They actually seem fine. I'm quite surprised. I don't know what the state of the belts are inside on the underneath, so yeah, those idlers seem these idlers seem absolutely fine. Often the little band there, just here, is the brake band, and it's got a felt inner, and sometimes that inner the glue gives way and the felt comes off, and that often causes tearing on the picture at the top, potentially the bottom, depending on the machine, and yeah, that can be a pain to fix. The guides all seem good. That should be locked from memory, so some part of the mechanism's got screwed up. It's possible the belt snapped halfway through trying to load something and somebody's taken the cassette out. This cover here comes off, so you can get to it. So it just looks like it was just dumped into a corner due to whatever situation. Maybe the belts did go. Looks like there's a belt just there. I don't know what state that's in. Yeah. So I said, let's just zoom back out. The plan is to completely refurbish this. I'm not going to get it perfect. There's a lot of aluminium corrosion on the metal here, so I'm not going to get it perfect. But if I can resurrect one of these are very difficult to get hold of, and this one, apart from the damage here, is the only serious damage, and that's just plastic. I can rebuild that. I can actually rebuild that, and I can even take the whole thing off and rebuild it, and it will look reasonable. It won't look perfect, it won't be reasonable. I just love the wood grain on that. LGR would love a bit of wood grain. The only other issue is the metal cover at the bottom has popped out here. Now that's usually a sign of something being on the bottom here and too much weight on the top, and that would then also tie up with the fact that some of this metal work here is a bit out, so there's been a heavy weight on top of it. And again, this is all on the verge of coming off. This one definitely is, as you can see, there we go. But that one, and this one here is, I'm sure if I tugged enough that would come off. Again, this is pretty easy to fix. It just needs flattening out and making good, and then gluing, and they go back on again. But yeah, so there's all the controls at the bottom. I do love these machines. These are just lovely to work on. It's a really nice machine, electromechanical machine rather than just fully electronic. Yes, they don't last that long. I think it's about 10 years they had use. Let's see if you look here. Let's have a look. Under heavy daily use, these didn't really last that well compared to their modern counterparts. As I said, we've got its little micro switches for the mechanism, and the mechanism down there, it's all quite complex. I've had one of these apart and it is a pain. So yeah, that all seems quite reasonable. It's going to have a full recap once I know that everything's working and the video head is good. And again, I've got another drum on order. Whether it'll come or not, I don't know, because it's coming from Canada, I think. Something like that. Yeah, be checking power supply. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this one. This is sort of my first love. Is not CRTs. It's actually video recorders like these. I've currently got the Panasonic first video recorder sitting over there. I'm currently doing some work on. That needs a full recap and all sorts, and again it's lovely wood grain machine, and that one does play, and the belts are quite good, and the video head seems to be in reasonable order. I've just got a colour fault, colour demodulation fault on it, so I'll be doing that one. And let's start giving this a good clean. So that's as far as I really want to take it right now for this video. It's just a quick check and make sure it's all what I think it is, which is basically a badly broken machine. In the next few videos, what I'm going to do is basically start dismantling and looking at all the belts, checking the mechanisms to see whether it's stuck. I think it is stuck in a particular mode, so that's going to need some light machine oil put into the mechanism and gently coax back into life. Unbend a few things, probably take this whole front panel out, look at the clock, see whether we basically normally just dodgy solder joints on these. They don't fail, it tends to be just dodgy solder joints. Try and coax it back into life, so at least we get some of the mechanism running, seeing what picture we get out of that video head. Try to get the basic functions working. Again, rewind, play, fast forward, eject, pause, record, I'll wait until later. And then start planning about how to dismantle this completely, clean it all out, do a full recap on it. Yeah, and just basically work my way through it until it actually becomes out. It's coming up reasonably well. It's a shame about the corrosion on the top here, but that's fine. I can live with that. It is a 45-year-old machine, so yeah, that's pretty good. The more you see, the more you want to clean. It's that type of machine where it's just so grubby and horrible that I just want to dismantle it right now and do everything. But I'm going to do this over a nice period of time. So, right, well, thanks for watching. Look out for part 2, which will be I said, more dismantling, trying to actually get the mechanism up and running. The belts are coming, which is great. Actually, no, the belts are here. Sorry, actually, I do have a set of belts and a capstan, so I can fit those in and get the mechanism up and running. Video head's on its way. So yeah, I think it's going to be a nice machine if everything all works out as it is. It'd be a nice one for my collection. I've got a number of early machines. I've sort of missed actually having one of these very early types in. Right, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, please. I'm a small channel, just growing my subscriptions. I appreciate all the help you can get, all the help I can get. And I'll see you on the next video on part 2 of this.